Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, where we are currently mired in the second trial. Everything so far seems to point to Fuyuhiko, but we can't take that as certainty yet, because we all know Danganronpa likes its little twists, don't we? Let's just press on.
If she didn't change her clothes, then what did Hiyoko do with the blood that got on her?
You're assuming blood got on her to begin with, which is sort of a fallacy. You have to first prove that blood did get on her before you can ask that question.
Like I've been saying, the blood wasn't on me in the first place, because I never touched Mahiro's body.
Hey, if you think about it the other way around, does that mean whoever was covered in blood is suspicious?
Maybe. Akane was covered in blood, but we should be able to clear that up very quickly if we just ask Nekomaru if they did battle and if she was injured.
Cause if so, I believe Akane was soaked with blood when we all met up to go to the beach.
Yeah, but even as boneheaded as Akane is, you gotta believe that she wasn't stupid enough to walk up there covered in blood after she killed someone.
Didn't I tell you that was because I got beat up by Coach Nekomaru?
I can attest to that. If I hadn't gotten that rough with her, she never would have backed down.
Okay, there you go.
Doubting me, of all people. You got some nerve.
Has nothing at all to do with nerve.
All right, I'll bend your body in half so you're stuck in a bowing position for the rest of your life.
That doesn't prove any point at all. When you resort to physicality, all you do is weaken your own argument.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
The hell it does!
Hey, more importantly, I'm okay now, right?
We're getting there, I guess.
It's okay that I'm not the killer? Yeah, seems like it.
All right.
See, I already told you. There's no way I'd kill Mahiru.
Yeah, she's the only one on the whole island that Hiyoko actually liked.
'Cause Mahiru taught me how to wear a kimono, and she was very, very kind.
So are you now saying you can put on your kimono by yourself?
There's no way I would kill a nice person like her. Why wouldn't you believe me earlier?
Because we don't just believe bald assertions, we need evidence.
You guys are stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Right, resorting to name-calling.
Hiyoko, please don't cry. Everything is fine now, right? Shut the hell up, pig barf! I hope you get a hangnail and die!
God, I hate Hiyoko. I really do wish it was her so we could get rid of her.
I'm sorry for being pig barf.
More importantly, Fuyuhiko's behavior earlier was definitely strange. Wasn't it, though? Didn't it appear that he was trying to push the blame onto Hiyoko? Getting so worked up and accusing Hiyoko of being suspicious. Could it be, does he actually have something else in mind?
Hey, Hiyoko. Now that our suspicions have been addressed, can you tell us the truth?
The truth about what, the letter?
Huh?
Even though you're not the killer, you still went to the beach house, right?
Well, that's undeniable.
Like I said, it was a trap.
Yeah, I got that already, so can you give us the details about that trap?
Did you get a forged letter too?
I would like to know too. It might lead to some kind of clue.
Fine. You want me to talk, huh?
Yes.
Earlier this morning, Mahiru was the one who came up to me. She asked if we could meet up later.
Huh? But didn't you say earlier?
Yeah, she was lying.
Damn it! So that was a lie?
It was. She knew she was suspicious because she found the body and ran away from it. She knew that Mahiru had been killed.
'Cause I thought it'd be doubted if I admitted it. So I figured it was better not to say anything.
The thing is, you didn't say nothing. You said a lie.
So, what was your answer to Mahiru's invitation?
I told her it was fine. I mean, I didn't have a reason to say no. Unlike everyone else here, Mahiru was someone I wasn't embarrassed to be seen with.
We know.
You always have to say something snide.
At the time, we were supposed to meet around 2 p.m., but
You got a letter?
around noon, there was a letter inside my mailbox.
Bingo.
A letter?
This is all a setup.
Yeah, this one.
Once again, the same handwriting. I was going to tell you in person, but I couldn't find you, so I put this in your mailbox. In fact, the exact same words, at least in this first section. About what we discussed earlier, is it okay if we change the place? So you weren't originally planning to meet at the beach house. I want you to come to the beach house on the second island. The time is still the same at 2 p.m. That seems a little strange. Wasn't the time in the other letter different? Yeah, Mahiru's letter says to come at 2:30 p.m. The thing is, that seems almost backward, doesn't it? If Hiyoko was lured there at 2, then how did they keep her from seeing what was going on? I would have expected her note to say to come a little bit later than 2:30 so that whoever wrote these and set her up would have time to kill Mahiru. Huh. Seems there's someone who wants to interfere with our meeting. Let's keep it a secret until then. Let's try not to see each other for a while, so both letters are keeping them from talking to each other. Otherwise, they would obviously figure out that they hadn't written the letters to one another. It would be bad if they started suspecting us for no reason. Yep. Okay.
I saw this letter and went to the beach house at that time.
New truth bullets are good, I guess. Huh. That letter that Hiyoko had, doesn't it actually contradict that other evidence? This one? Right here?
I can prove it with this. This letter. Doesn't it look like its contents are different from the letter Mahiru had?
Yes, but the handwriting's the same. About what we discussed. Oh, no, I'm not reading the letters again, okay? There's the 2:30. You see it highlighted.
Mahiru's letter said to meet at 2:30 p.m. But in Hiyoko's letter,
2 p.m.
Whoa! The meeting times are off.
it's also strange that both letters wanted to change their meeting spot to the beach house.
Isn't it, though?
It would be plausible if one of them said it, but for both letters to say the same thing?
Hiyoko, since you wrote it, what do you think? Like I said, I never wrote the letter. How many times do I have to tell you?
It's safe to say a letter was forged by the killer, but which letter did the killer forge? He forged both. I say he because I think that it's Fuyuhiko.
I see! The killer must have forged both letters.
The killer forged them so they could manipulate their actions. Yeah, that's how we should think about it.
Well, that's because it's a fact.
That seems very likely. In fact, if you compare both letters...
Thank you, Nekomaru. Someone's going to point out the handwriting, I see.
Confirmed! Just as I assumed, the handwriting is the same. The content of the letters matches too.
Bravo, sir.
Like this part. I was going to tell you in person, but I couldn't find you, so I put this in your mailbox. This part. It seems there's someone who wants to interfere with our meeting. And this part. Let's keep it a secret. Until then, let's try not to see each other for a while.
Can we get some handwriting samples? Guess they would have to be things people had already written so they couldn't try to disguise their handwriting. But perhaps we could find such things?
The killer forged both of those letters.
In doing so, they were able to control Hiyoko and Mahiru to do their bidding, like a netherworld puppeteer.
Oh, they completely tricked me. And then Mahiru's killer. How mean! Give me back Mahiru!
Why don't you tell us what exactly happened when you went to the beach house, Hiyoko?
Really? This is really terrible.
I mean, it's no more terrible than any other scenario in which she ended up killed.
I've offered to help so many times.
Oh.
But the killer this time didn't discuss their plan with me at all.
Of course he meant that.
It's all my fault. I'm so ashamed of being unreliable.
I think you should probably be ashamed of being you. In all honesty.
Here we go again. Once we let our guard down, this happens. We can just lightly punch him to death later.
Okay.
So based on what the letter said, you went to the beach house at 2 p.m., right, Hiyoko?
What's most important is what happened afterward. What on earth happened there?
Yes.
I fell asleep.
Okay. You slept through the murder?
Why'd you fall asleep? It's not like I wanted to. I think I was forced to get a whiff of some kind of medicine or something.
Okay, so you were chloroformed or something similar.
Medicine? That medicine, could it be? Did they get it from the drugstore?
Are they going to point at Mikon now?
I thought that place seemed unsafe. They even have prescription medicines laying out in the open.
If you were aware of that from the start, you should have done something about it.
I'm sorry. When I woke up, I was inside a small closet.
Okay.
And when I rushed out, I saw Mahiru's body.
So you were in the closet, but that wasn't your gummy.
And that's why you ran out of the beach house in such a panic!
I was scared. It was really, really scared. Really scared that I couldn't help, but... The killer probably planned to frame Hiyoko from the start. And for that reason, they summoned Hiyoko before Mahiru, put her to sleep, and shoved her inside the closet.
Okay, I mean, that absolutely clears up my objections to the different times, so great.
So their reason for blocking the door with Mahiru's body was to make Hiyoko leave her footprints as evidence.
Okay, because the path behind the house is paved and she wouldn't have left footprints. That's very smart.
Everything was done to frame Hiyoko as the killer.
And in all honesty, it was done pretty freaking well. In fact, if they had used the right gummies to prove that she'd been in the closet, we might not have been able to get past that.
That's horrible! I didn't do anything wrong, and I was framed by Mahiru's killer!
Well, we don't have time for you to feel sorry for yourself. Let's find the real killer, okay?
Hiyoko, please do not cry. We believe you.
Is it really okay to believe her so easily? She might be faking those tears, you know.
Whether or not she's faking the tears is irrelevant to the evidence.
This'll never end if you keep being so suspicious.
Isn't that what a class trial is all about?
Yes, I agree with that.
The only way to survive is to be suspicious. This is where we go to thoroughly doubt each other. So if you believe in each other so easily, then there's definitely something wrong with you.
Okay.
You're wrong, Fuyuhiko. We aren't supposed to doubt each other here. We're supposed to work together.
I think you're supposed to do both. I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
The class trial is where we cooperate with each other, work hard, and aim for victory.
Also, I'm inclined to disagree with just about anything you say, Nagito. Don't get me wrong. You are super interesting and really add to the story, but I kinda hate you, so I'm just going to keep on hating you because it's fun.
The killer and everyone else. Two hopes attempting to grasp the one true hope.
Which is?
Two hopes clashing with each other is poetry in motion. That is what a class trial should be.
And once again, he equivocates the hope of the innocent with the hope of the guilty.
Seriously, which side are you on?
He's on his own side,
I'm on the side of the absolute hope that can overcome any despair.
which is something he just made up inside his own twisted brain.
And I believe that absolute hope exists at the point where two hopes clash.
Which is another thing he just made up inside his twisted mind.
Your stance is neither white nor black, but gray, and you do not yearn for your life, or even for victory.
Well said, Gundam.
Jeez, I wish he'd just side with the enemy already so I can believe what he's saying.
That was also very astute, Ibuki.
Let's stop. Believing every little thing Nagito says is a waste of time.
That's true, except doubting every little thing he says is kind of also a waste of time. Despite how it interferes with the whole trial, we do have to test everything that he asserts individually to evaluate their efficacy.
Yeah, we need to figure out who Mahiru's killer is.
There should be a new clue contained in what Hyoko has told us. So, let us believe Hyoko's words and discuss it once again with everyone.
All right.
Yep. The debate proceeds when you assume you can believe each other.
No.
Good job. That's the right way. That's the splendid power of teamwork.
Oh, Usami.
Hey, what do you think of that, Monokuma? I'm not gonna let you have the outcome you want.
You're not doing anything to stop him.
Whoa. He's sleeping.
Dumbasses. You bastards don't know anything. If you're stupid enough to trust each other, the only thing waiting for you is the bitter truth.
Again, Fuyuhiko is saying things that I absolutely agree with, except the reason he's saying it may be that he's the one who framed them. I actually think he is, so. The bitter truth. That may be true, but even so, we can't just stand around here all day. Even if what lies ahead is a cruel ending, the only thing we can do is move forward. Because unless we reveal who among us is Mahiru's true killer, there's no way we'll survive. Okay. Looks like we're about halfway through.
Well now.
Now that the class trial has reached its climax, I would like to present the answer right here, right now.
Hey!
You're going to spoil who the killer is? If I reveal the answer before everyone's ready, they'll all be shocked. They'll all feel despair. I don't think we will. You can't. That's seriously a big no-no. Whose side are you on, Usami? But spoiling it right now is innovative, don't you think? The club president and I are powerless against innovation. Who's the club president? Also you? Yeah, who's the club president? So, without further ado, the answer is... Yeah, you can't. Everyone, please close your eyes and cover your ears.
Correct! You say Nanu in German when you're surprised.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about, but somehow it feels wrong to me. Yeah, that's 'cause it's Monokuma and everything he does is wrong. Please let me save.
I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now. To think that the person who killed the wonderful Mahiru Koizumi is in this room. Impossible! Impossible! That's so impossible! There's no way I can believe that! Oh, I can't do anything! How annoying! But I'm just gonna believe in everyone. That's the least I can do.
The very, very least.
Everyone do your best. Don't lose to yourselves. And don't forget to save regularly.
Don't worry, Usami. I save very regularly.
Well, now that we've decided to believe Hyoko, now what?
Well, now we just proceed with the debate and see what our next point is.
If the killer was luring Hyoko into a trap, then something that was used there might be a clue.
Okay.
Do you mean the letter?
No, it was probably the gummy.
Okay.
Huh? Candy can be a clue?
Well, it was used to implicate Hyoko, though not successfully.
Hey, when you woke up, was the gummy already there?
Now that you mention it, I feel like it wasn't.
Are you sure?
Just as I thought.
Just as you thought?
If the killer planted evidence while Hyoko was there, she would have thrown it away if she found it.
Maybe?
Which means the gummy was placed inside the closet after Hyoko fled from the beach house?
Okay, well that means then that the killer was still around until after Hyoko left, right?
The killer returned to the scene of the crime? After I left?
They wouldn't have to do something that troublesome as long as they hid somewhere within the beach house.
Like the shower room, if you never looked in there?
That's impossible! There's nowhere to hide! I even glanced inside the shower room as I was running away, but there was nobody there!
Okay.
Then, does that mean the killer came back?
I wonder.
Maybe.
At any rate, the solution to that problem is connected to what really happened. That's what I think.
I agree. We've still yet to uncover who the third person to find the body was. Because now we know for sure that the first was Hyoko, and the last was Kazuichi. So who's the one in the middle? I want to play a new game. Is that what you're thinking? We have a new mechanic? If so, we've prepared the perfect product for you. You will dive into your own brain and logically discern the mysterious answer from several questions. It's called the Logic Dive. During the Logic Dive, you will control a version of yourself created from an image within your brain. Your task is to reach the goal, the final destination of the Synapse course. You can move sideways with the mouse and accelerate with the control key. Press the right mouse button to brake and the left to jump. Okay, so we don't use like the WASD or the directional arrows at all. There will be various obstacles you will encounter as you progress through the course. Is this sort of a race or something? So make sure you're familiar with these controls so you can reach the goal. Okay. Can I look at the controls? I guess not till we get in there. Just wanted to refresh. Control accelerates, right mouse brakes, and was it left mouse jumps? On your journey, you will take damage every time you fall into a gap or bump into the walls. Also, upon reaching a certain point, there will be branching questions in the course. The answers split into different paths, so please proceed down the path of the answer you think is correct. Branching questions will appear several times in one course. Please be careful. I highly recommend that you make good use of the brake. That's my meddlesome advice to you. If you press the escape key during the Logic Dive, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. She's right. This might be a very important problem. If the killer tampered with the evidence after Hyoko ran away from the beach house, when did the killer arrive and depart from the beach house? Think. If I just focus and think about it, I'm sure I'll be able to find the answer. Alright, I'm going to do it. Logic Dive. Be prepared for me to be horrible at this. Okay. Are we surfing? Let me check the controls real quick. All right, left is jump. Okay. I think I have it. So I move. Oh, gosh, that feels awful. It's very, very drifty. Should we... Oh, we do have a time limit, so I guess we should accelerate. This kind of reminds me of the half-pike things in the old Sonic games. Maybe even in the new Sonic games, since they went back to that sort of aesthetic. Oh, this isn't too bad so far. Question 1. When did the killer arrive at the beach house? Before Hiyoko arrived. I think? Are we correct? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, apparently we're correct. Guess we're just waiting for our next question. What are those yellow panels that don't have the arrows on them? The arrow ones accelerate us. What are the... Oh! Let's not fall off. Question 2. When did the killer leave the beach house? After she left. I'm kind of the opinion they were hiding somewhere or somewhere nearby. Okay, that was correct. Oh, we gotta jump. Left. There we go. Oh! Oh, is that it? Oh no, it's just a different configuration. Alrighty. How many more questions do we have in this logic dive? Where was the killer hiding while Hiyoko was unconscious? I think they were in the house? I don't know where they would have hidden at the beach. There are areas they could have hidden in at the house, like if they could have gotten up the window and out onto the roof. I don't know exactly where.
It's all coming together.
I'm guessing the game's going to tell us that was the point of that exercise.
Do you think the killer might have been hiding?
You spent all that time thinking just to say something so pointless. How disappointing. Didn't I just say there was nowhere to hide? Do I have to explain it in another language so you can understand?
No, but you have to prove there was actually nowhere to hide. You can't just assert something and have us accept it as fact.
Her personality got a hell of a lot more forceful once she stopped being a suspect.
No, there should have been a place for them to hide. A place you did.
Oh, sorry.
What are you saying? Stop being annoying or I'm gonna make Akane bop you on the head and shut you up for good.
Sorry, didn't mean to click there. I really don't want that to happen to me. I need to answer by any means. The place where the killer was hiding, where Hiyoko hasn't looked. The roof? Can we choose the roof? Oh, there's no revealing for tab here. Okay, we could choose the door, we could choose the shower room. They couldn't hide in the shower room? But by selecting this, would I be saying that... Oh, I don't have time to... On the roof. I already said I checked the shower room. I'll grind you into food for Gundam's hamsters.
Crap!
Everyone's staring. Looks like I just made a fool of myself in front of everyone. The closet? Were they also in the closet?
Here!
Okay.
The killer was probably hiding in the closet.
Alrighty.
The closet? That's where I was locked up.
After you woke up, you said you rushed out of there, right?
They might have even just been standing behind you in that case then, I guess.
Then you probably didn't look inside the closet very carefully.
But could two people even hide in such a small place? And without Hiyoko knowing?
I mean, you commented that there wasn't any more room for one person, but you and Nagito were in there at the same time, Hajime.
That's why the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place.
The surfboard case! That's why Nagito said it was suspicious. Damn it, I missed that. Well, at least now we know, right? If the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place in advance. I can only think of one place. That's right. The place where the killer was hiding inside the closet was... in the surfboard case.
Here! What about the surfboard case in the closet? I'm pretty sure they could have hidden in there.
Yep, that's also why the surfboard wasn't in the case.
Huh? Inside the surfboard case? But the shelf it was on, it was pretty messy, don't you think? 2 surfboards were stacked on the top shelf, and there were surfboards that weren't even in a case. The killer probably did that on purpose to secure a hiding place. 'Cause we haven't been on this island that long, so the closet shouldn't have been that messy, I think.
And then I guess they thought they probably didn't have time enough to put them back?
Then, the killer was close to me during that time?
Apparently so.
Yeah, they were quietly holding their breath and hiding very close to you.
It's kind of like in for a penny, in for a pound, so to speak.
Don't you mean it's always darkest under the lighthouse?
What?
I shouldn't say things I don't understand, like, so to speak.
Okay.
Anyway, the killer hid silently, and after making sure Hiyoko left, they finally left the surfboard case.
Alright, I mean, I guess I'll tentatively accept that. The thing is, we really have no proof that that's what happened. It's a good hypothesis, and I guess that's just what the game's going to do. But again, this is just another assertion without evidence.
I agree with that as well.
Seriously, nobody asked what you think.
There's no way the killer would leave Hiyoko by herself if they were trying to frame her. If Hiyoko was left alone and ruined the evidence the killer had planted, it would have messed up their plan. Instead, it makes more sense to think that the killer was hiding in the beach house, watching Hiyoko.
Just because it makes sense doesn't make it true. But, I mean, this is a game and this is the way the game is played, so I guess this is the path we choose.
Saying whatever you want, even if we didn't ask. All right, if you don't want to friggin' get punched, just stand still and let me punch ya!
What?
Oh, you shut up. Then, grit your teeth.
Sorry, Akane. It's not like that.
It's not like what?
Hey, Monokuma. Can I ask you about something that seems strange to me?
I mean, please do.
I believe Prince Shotoku was from the future. A man from the future is always directing the flow of history.
Right.
I'll listen to your story about men from the future some other time. As I recall, the body discovery announcement is made when 3 or more people discover a body, right?
Yes, yes, yes. This is the point I wanted to get to from the very beginning. This is what it all hinges on.
Is the killer also included among those 3 or more people?
No.
Yeah, that's true, but, well, something like that is basically what it's supposed to be.
Answer the question, Monokuma.
You don't sound very articulate.
Jeez, you're pretty annoying for noticing something like that. I know it sounds like an excuse, but the body discovery announcement isn't supposed to be used for deduction.
Yes, it does sound like an excuse. It's knowledge that we can have, therefore you must let us have it.
It's intended to create a fair trial. It's supposed to let everyone know a body has been found.
So you're saying it's unfortunate that I used it for deduction? I understand your excuse, but...
These are the rules you made, Monokuma. That means you must play by them as well.
Depending on who actually found the body, it's possible that your 3 or more people rule could be deadly.
Yes, it is. Nagito's being useful.
As long as I keep things ambiguous, I can respond to situations with some flexibility.
This is really easy. It's a yes or no question. Does the killer count as one of the 3 body discoverers?
Flexibility, huh? So what about this time? Is it 3 people including the killer or not?
Jeez, fine! You want me to say it? It doesn't include the killer this time, okay? All done.
This time, so you're saying it could include the killer in the future? I guess if 3 people together walked in to discover a body, all at the same time, if he didn't immediately make an announcement at that point, then that would prove that one of those 3 was the killer. So I can understand that. I guess it isn't really dodging the issue, but, okay.
Which means 3 people other than the killer discovered Mahiru's body.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just thought it was somewhat strange. More importantly, let's get back to our original topic.
Well, it is important because now we know that we only have 2 of the body discoverers, Kazuichi and Hyoko, who is the 3rd person.
You're the one who went on a tangent.
We were just saying the killer was hiding in the surfboard case, right?
Yes, but please let's not abandon this line of thought here.
And after Hyoko ran away, the killer got to enjoy the simple life of destroying evidence.
However, before we proceed any further, there's something we have to make clear. The killer blocked the roadside door with Mahiru's body before Hyoko ran away. But what about the blood?
I'm pretty sure that's what the water bottles were about in the trash can. They used those to wash themselves off because the shower was out of order.
Now that you mention it, that mystery hasn't been solved yet.
It's going to be all right. If you guys have come this far, I'm sure you can discover that answer too. Now, let's start the argument, shall we?
Now then, I shall explain to you the final feature in the non-stop debates. Alrighty. From this point forward, you will now be able to use the truth flashback. If you hold down the left mouse button, the shape of the reticle will change. If you aim at the remark's weak spot and keep it in that position, you will be able to memorize. Oh, okay, this is where we take bullets from the points that people are making. I was wondering when that was going to happen. Yep, I gotcha. I understand. Thank you, game. You will not be able to agree with a truth flashback. That's a good point. Thank you. Please remember... Okay, you can only use them to refute. So... Oh, just the shower room. So we're going to have to take one this time, because this is the tutorial.
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right?
Right?
So washing it off would have been impossible.
Okay, that's probably what we've got to
They
shoot.
didn't have to use the shower.
Oh, what about the wetsuits in the closet?
No. I mean,
Maybe they wore one when they moved the body.
but then they would have had to dispose of the wetsuit.
If they used something other than the shower...
There we go.
What did they do with the bloody wetsuit?
What?
They cut it up and whoosh.
Right.
As someone who flushes their shit every morning, I can declare it would definitely clog the toilet.
Probably.
Maybe it's the other way around. Perhaps someone other than the killer moved the body?
No.
Maybe they were able to wash it off.
Okay, I think this one's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to be sure. If I use that person's opinion, I might be able to break through the contradiction.
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply...
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have been impossible.
All right.
No, that's wrong! If they just needed to wash off the blood, they didn't necessarily have to use the shower. They could have just as easily used something else.
Something other than the shower. Like what?
Like about 50 bottles of water. Something other than the shower that was used to wash off the blood. It's possible it was the drinks inside the refrigerator.
I see! The drinks inside the refrigerator. Couldn't the killer have used those to wash off the blood?
Yes. Also, they could have, as close as they were to the beach, they could have just stepped outside and dunked themselves in the ocean.
I've seen through it.
What?
In theory, but that's impossible.
All right, I've had trouble with these in the past. Let's hope not this time.
Why?
Try to remember the refrigerator carefully, and then you will understand that there's no possible way the drinks in the refrigerator were used.
She's going to argue that they were all sugary drinks, right? The thing is, the bottles in the trash can were different. I really do wish this would pause at the beginning so we had a chance to look at our swords before we started cutting. Although this time it pretty well has to be the trash can, I think.
It's true there were drinks in the beach house. However, try thinking about it. One bottle drink it wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
Okay. The tone in Pecco's voice is so threatening it might cut me. We're nearing the moment when our fates will be decided.
It's true there were drinks in the beach house refrigerator. However, try thinking about it. One bottle drink it wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
There we go.
Can't back down!
Oh, gotta... Darn it! Wasn't expecting that. Just a little bit more and I can draw something out next time.
It's true there were drinks in the beach house refrigerator. However, try thinking about it. One bottle drink it wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
Yeah.
Can't
Okay.
assume they used just one drink. They could have used a bunch of them to wash it off.
Didn't I say it was impossible?
That doesn't mean it's so.
There
Oh,
were only
darn it!
flavored drinks with colored dye. If you use those to wash blood off, the blood won't come off and your body will get sticky. It will leave an aromatic smell too, especially if you used a lot.
Fuck!
Damn it!
It's true there were drinks in the beach house refrigerator. However, try thinking about it. One bottle drink it wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
All right.
We can't assume they used just one drink. They could have used a bunch of them to wash it off.
Didn't I say it was impossible? There were no water bottles in the refrigerator.
It's because they were all
Allow
fucking
me to cut through
used.
those words. No, there were water bottles inside the refrigerator.
How many times do I have to tell you? There were no water bottles in there whatsoever.
What is your deal, Pecco?
That was after the incident, right? But before the incident, there were water bottles in the fridge. And the killer took all of those water bottles and used them to wash the blood off their body.
So you're saying the water bottles were gone? Because they were all used? That's a logical fallacy.
No, it's not.
It's not a fallacy. There should have been evidence inside the trash can. Evidence like a lot of thrown away plastic water bottles. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Oh, you're right. These bottles look like they may have been filled with water.
Well, now that you mention it, when I went to the beach house a few days ago, I feel like I drank one of those plastic water bottles.
Huh? You should have said so sooner. Then, the plastic water bottles were used in place of the shower. Dousing your body with lots of water bottles is such a simple and easy to understand explanation.
Hold on a sec, yeah. Peko. She was on my list of possible suspects. Huh. Now that I think about it, if they soaked their entire body with a bunch of plastic water bottles, if they did that, that person would be...
It seems you've realized who the killer is.
It's Peko. That's why she was wet when she showed up at the diner. She had washed herself off with the water bottles. The swimming around the island was just a story made up. That's why some of the things she said seemed odd.
See? Just as I thought.
And she was the last one to arrive at the diner, wasn't she? After we saw Hiyoko running away?
Hold on. You know who the killer is?
So, she framed them? Why would she do that? What possible motive? Unless freaking Sonya's right and she is sparkling justice and saw it as a way to punish the criminal, Mahiru, because she covered up that crime? I would be really disappointed if there are serial killers in both of these games, to be honest.
Is that true?
Let me ask, who might that be?
It's Peko. If the killer used plastic water bottles to wash off the blood that splattered onto them, that killer, Mahiru's killer, must be that person. Pick a direction. Almost certainly will be the wrong one. We'll go to the left. I picked the right direction. Hello, Peko.
You're the only one! Peko, is it you?
Hey, what are you being quiet for? They're accusing you of being the killer. Then I should ask you this. Why do you believe I'm the killer?
I remember when we were all meeting up to go to the beach. Your appearance when you came to the diner.
Completely soaked.
If the killer really did wash the blood off with water bottles, they'd have to drench their entire body. But there were no towels in the beach house, and it would have taken a while for the water to fully air dry. So you said you went swimming so you'd have a cover story.
Looks like she's just accepting it.
Don't just stay silent. Say something.
Hold on, you bastard!
What is the deal?
You saw her at the diner! You never saw her near the beach house, right?
Right, but I think she was the last one to arrive at the diner. I can't remember. I know she was near the last. If she did arrive after we saw Hiyoko running, then that would make it more certain. And I think that's the case, but I'm not sure.
So maybe she really was swimming!
Maybe, but why?
No one even saw her swimming.
Why are you so upset about it?
No. I saw her.
Did you guys do this together?
Huh?
After I ran into you bastards at the diner, I crossed paths with her on my way home.
That's not possible. She said she came from the beach.
So there's no doubt. She would have arrived at the diner from the opposite direction of the beach house.
But she said she was swimming and came up from there.
Hold on, that's strange. Didn't you just say this earlier?
Didn't even pay attention to the beach house. Didn't see anyone during that time.
You told me you didn't see anyone. Don't try to tell me you forgot about that.
He probably did, or hoped that you would. So which one is the actual killer and which one is the accomplice? Because the only one that matters is the actual killer. Accomplices get nothing.
Not so fast! It's too soon to decide she's a killer!
Was she just your accomplice?
We haven't established how the killer was able to leave the beach house!
Now that you mention it, you're right.
Because there are no footprints. Well, it had to be through the window somehow then, right?
The roadside door was blocked. And if it's impossible to leave from the beachside without leaving footprints, then how the fuck did the killer escape?
Why are you all fired up, Fuyuhiko? You're not the suspect. Peko is.
Who cares about that? Answer me! If you have an explanation, then show me what you got!
There's something going on between Fuyuhiko and Peko that we're unaware of. There's some sort of connection between them.
We might have an answer.
Huh?
Do you really? This mystery seems unsolvable.
You hope it is.
Well, if Peko is the killer, then I might just have an answer to that mystery.
I see. Then let's hear this alleged method of escaping the beach house.
First, let's establish how the killer escaped.
The killer's escape route. I might know what that is. In fact, the only possible thing I can think of is that opening. The small window.
I see! If the roadside and beachside doors aren't an option, the only other thing I can think of is... well, nothing really. Except that small window in the shower room.
And I'm still fairly convinced that they could have jumped from the sink or the toilet to that, or maybe even climbed up the inside of the shower and jumped from there.
Huh. Don't you know how high that window is? There's no way Peko could have reached it.
But what if, for instance, she got help from someone?
Or maybe there was a rope set up beforehand, hanging down in there, because it was pre-planned, and she just climbed up that way. I mean, we don't have any proof of that, but these are all just conjectures.
She might have reached it by riding someone's shoulders, but then that person would have been left behind.
You're saying that she couldn't pull someone up behind her, though.
Is it possible an object was used? A rope, for instance?
Or a sword?
And what happened to the rope after they used it? And don't say something stupid like they threw it outside.
Of course not! That would violate the school trip rule!
No littering. Yeah.
Littering is prohibited. Even if it might be evidence, rules are still rules.
You see? There's no way they'd be able to escape from that window.
Is there a way she could have used her sword?
No, they just have to use an object.
Chiaki, don't fall asleep on us! We just said they couldn't use an object!
No, that's not what we said.
You did? I thought you were saying they couldn't dispose of an object.
Yes.
I see. You don't have to throw it away if you can just hide it somewhere on your body.
Or if it's an object that everybody is already used to you carrying with you. And she did have her sword even in her swimsuit.
Huh? Pekka was wearing a swimsuit, remember? Where would she even hide an object? And if you say she hid it in her special place, I'll stab you in yours!
Oh my god.
No! Please don't be violent!
Even if the killer used an object to escape out the window, they wouldn't have been able to get rid of it. So the only thing I can think of is the killer must have hid it somewhere. If that's the case, they hid it in plain sight. I'm not really certain how she could use the sword to do that, but that seems to be what the game is getting at. Focus and think. The object the killer used to escape out the window. A hangman's gambit? I wish it was the old hangman's gambit. Alright, let's look at the controls. I was told there was a fast forward key. Okay, it's still control. Don't know that that helps me out too much, because sometimes it's very hectic, but we'll see. Practice sword, so P. Let's get rid of some of these. Oh. No, it was a B. I used it already. Okay. It's bamboo. Okay. Ooh, barely got that. It's not practice, it's bamboo. All right. Stay there. Ah, darn it. I keep using the wrong buttons. Ah. Give me some O's, please. There we go. Need another one. Can we keep this S safe? Maybe? Ah, darn it. All right. Ah. Well, if I wasn't so bad at this, I'd have this by now. There we go. I mean, thank you for all the S's, but there we go. Why did it get rid of that one? Just let these merge. There we go. There we go. Oh, darn it. Lost my D. Don't mind admitting I am horrible at this. Finally, lost almost half my health doing it, but there we go.
Heko, you carry that bamboo sword on your back at all times, right?
Yep, you got her.
If I recall correctly, you had it then too.
We need to be aware, though, this does not mean that she actually killed Mahiru, though she still could be the killer. It means she was involved. Fuyuhiko could still have killed Mahiru, and then Peko hung back to do all the evidence planning and stuff.
Despite the fact that you had a swimsuit on, you were still wearing your bamboo sword.
Are you saying she used that bamboo sword to escape through the window?
Yeah. Peko used that bamboo sword as a step stool and escaped out the window.
Oh, okay.
Sword as a step stool? You see? I knew it! I knew it was a ninja! Didn't I tell ya? A ninja could have climbed that easily!
Unfortunately, I have to agree with you, Akane. Never thought I'd be saying this, but well done.
Ninjas know a climbing trick where they lean their sword against a wall and use the handguard as a step stool.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
Wow! Just like a Japanese ninja!
Miss Sonia, ninjas only exist in Japan.
Well, it is a bamboo sword, but I'm sure a slender girl like Peko could easily use it to climb.
Well, Peko, do you have anything to say?
Now then, the time has come once again for the panic talk action, which I also had a ton of trouble with last time. Let's hope I redeem myself this time. Let's talk a little bit about fever time and nega time. Okay. From this point on, you will be able to use fever time by pressing the space key. When fever time is activated, the tempo will be pushed to its max. But that's not all. You won't miss during fever time either. By pressing the left mouse button when applicable, you can destroy your opponent's verbal assault. But only until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, you're not the only one who can get the upper hand. There's something called nega time that your opponent can use too. If your opponent uses nega time, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit difficult to press the buttons in a rhythm. In that case, please time the rhythm not with your eyes, but with your ears and your passionate heart. My heart is so passionate. If you can't clear it, you can always change the difficulty setting. I'm not going to tell them that they'll have to redo the class trial for that chapter if they do that. Uh-huh. Well then, good luck and have fun.
Hold on a sec, you bastard!
Oh, we're arguing with Fuyuhiko?
You're saying she used her sword as a step stool and went out the fucking window? Then what about the sword?
She pulled it up behind her. She's got that case she keeps it in. Just attach that to it and use it like a rope?
It would have been left in the shower room and she wouldn't have been able to recover it, dumbass!
Fuyuhiko, why do you even care?
That's what I'm wondering. They're involved in this together somehow. One's the murderer and one's the accomplice.
Shut up! Just shut the fuck up and answer me! If you have an answer, then fucking give it to me!
I will be happy to do that for you, Hiko, in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, let me know in the comments and by leaving a like below. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.